Wednesday morning. It's December the 5th. Welcome to WGTV, Wayne Goldsboro Television. I'm Kim Best.
And I'm Wayne Alley, and we thank you very much for being with us on this Wednesday morning. It's going to be another gorgeous day.
It is. We are so blessed to have such change in our weather.
Change in the weather.
Every day.
That's so true. But here lately, it's for some reason, it's just been very mild. We've got a mild week again. It's very pleasant temperatures and just nice weather for this time of year especially. But this is December, and you would think, you know, with...
well, now, in 2 days, it may be freezing cold, and you may have your heavy coats on and gloves on again.
Now, that's true. In fact, later on this afternoon, it may be.
It may be.
But it's really beautiful, and here we are close to winter. Winter officially arrives the 21st of the month as Earth crosses that imaginary line, and we work our way into another season.
That's right.
All right.
So what's going on, Wayne?
Well, I actually had someone ask me what the chances were for a white Christmas.
Oh, what are the
this year.
chances? Do you know, Weatherman? Weatherman Wayne?
Weatherman Wayne here. We had a white Christmas here a couple of 3 years ago.
We sure did.
We did, and somebody was asking me about that, so I looked it up.
Okay, what's it say?
Here are the probabilities. First of all, let me just say the National Climatic Data Center, the NCDC, released a report recently containing maps and tables and all that stuff showing the percentage probabilities for a snow depth of at least an inch on Christmas morning, as well as the probabilities for a depth of at least 5 and 10 inches on Christmas morning.
Oh, wow.
Now, to compute the statistics, only observation stations with 25 years or more of data were used, that is to get a clear picture, a good idea of the probability. And the 1961 to 1990 period was chosen to coincide with the standard period for computing climatological normals. Now, as expected, the greatest probabilities are across the northern U.S. and in the mountainous areas. Assuming a white Christmas is having at least an inch of snow on the ground December 25th, the chances are 60% or better over an area including much of the northern Rockies. 60% in the northern Rockies, that makes sense.
Well, how about our area?
Well, the Great Northern Plains and the Great Lakes area and most of New England also 60%. The chances are less than 20% over most of the southern third of the country.
Oh, really?
Less than 20%. It is important to note that higher mountain areas, elevations of 8,000 feet or higher, which is not North Carolina.
Right.
An area averaging of about 4,000 feet. Will tend to have greater probabilities for each of the three categories. Now here we go. For western North Carolina, probability of snow on Christmas Day, 1 inch, 7%, which isn't much of a chance.
In western North Carolina.
Asheville in that area.
Wow, that's not much of a chance at all.
You go to the other extreme, Cape Hatteras along the coast, 3%. And I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, me too.
For 1 inch. Also, there's a 3% chance of 5 inches of snow or better at Cape Hatteras. Surprising.
Huh.
Now, for other areas such as Cherry Point near Newbern, Hickory in the western part of the state, or central western part, Newbern, Raleigh, and Wilmington, each with a 3% chance.
Oh, same thing as Cape Hatteras. Then.
Exactly.
Okay.
Now, Cherry Point has a 3% chance also of 10 inches of snow, but who knows? Now,
so don't expect a bunch of snow Christmas Eve this year or
don't
Christmas Day.
Don't expect a white Christmas. Jacksonville, 4%. The highest, so we would be in that 3% range for an inch of snow, being near Raleigh. Although our climate is not Raleigh.
No, it's not.
It's not, and I know you studied it, so have I. Our climate is not Raleigh, and we have our own climate, but still, we'll just, for the sake of having it here, we'll just say 3%. The highest percentage of probability of snow on Christmas Day, 1 inch, is in Greensboro.
Really?
They have a 10% chance of 1 inch of snow on Christmas Day.
So it's still very slight.
Very slight chance. It could happen, but it's not likely.
Yeah.
Well,
that's interesting that Greensboro versus Asheville. Yeah,
really.
You know, so far in the western part of the state.
Exactly. I think they must have included, of course, other factors. Well, now what they did from 1961 to 1990, over that long span, that's 29 years or 30 years. Over that long span, it didn't snow most of the time on Christmas Day. Sometimes it did. So there you go.
I remember walking out of a Christmas Eve service one night. My husband plays the piano, and my daughters always sang at Christmas Eve at our church. And we walked out, and literally the doors opened and the snow started falling.
Whoa.
And it was so beautiful.
Wow.
That was a special, special Christmas.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Guess I'm not going to see that this year.
That
3%.
Probabilities are you will not
Unless
see that
something
this
major
year.
changes.
It could happen, though.
Yes, it
could
could.
happen. They're not saying it won't snow. They're just saying the
Yeah.
chances are it's not going to snow.
Yep. Well, Wayne, you know, we thought all the Christmas parades had been paraded.
Oh, yes. Ho, ho,
Well,
ho.
they have not.
Oh, really?
If you didn't get to go to the Christmas parade, or if you feel the need that you want to go to another, there's one more chance.
Oh, boy.
Eureka,
What?
Eureka, North Carolina.
Oh, Eureka, North
Eureka,
Carolina.
North Carolina
Oh.
has a Christmas parade on, oh gosh, it's this Sunday, Sunday, December the 9th at 3 to 5 p.m. So lineup must be at 3. It's about a 2-hour parade.
Yeah.
Right there in Eureka, North Carolina.
Wow.
That's right. So I believe I heard some friends recently saying that they have all kinds of things in their parade. They have people dressing their dogs up, and they have golf carts and all
yeah.
kinds of neat little things in their parade.
It's just a fun parade.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Now,
yeah.
if you don't know where Eureka is, I believe you take Paytown Road, right?
I believe you
Old
do.
Paytown Road. You go up Highway 11.
Is that what that
111.
is? 111.
Up old 111, Paytown Road, off William Street.
Yes.
And go just as far as you can go until the dead end, and then hang a right on 222.
That's right.
And then
you are
you're-
in Eureka.
then you're in Eureka, a couple of miles down the road there. It's a nice community.
That's right. So
Nice
that's
town.
Sunday, 3 o'clock.
There you go. Ho, ho, ho.
One more Christmas parade.
All right, today is January 5th.
Yes, not
It's
January. It's
Not
still
January.
December.
Did I say January?
It is still December. He is trying to get us to January. So bad.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Let's see.
See, I'm just trying to get ready here.
Is that what it is?
I guess. I don't know. That's as good as any. Anyway, December 5th it is.
Yes, it is.
All day.
Well, do we want to hear from Jessica? I believe she's up next with the Cooperative Extension.
This is a great piece right here.
What is she talking about?
She's talking about,
Do you remember?
I'll let you figure it out.
Stay tuned.
Today, Jessica Strickland is back with us, and we're going to talk Christmas trees. Jessica, the horticulture agent for the Cooperative Extension Service here in Wayne County. How you doing?
I'm doing good today.
I'm so glad you're here.
thank you.
Ho, ho, ho.
It is
It's
Christmas
time. Yeah,
that's
okay. What makes the best Christmas tree? I mean, what kind of tree is most popular, and what's the best kind?
And right now you see them all over the place. You see a lot of Christmas lights, and you see there's farms and everything. You hear people traveling to the mountains and so forth. So
Yeah.
it's that time of year where everybody's looking for a Christmas tree.
Right.
And live Christmas trees or fresh Christmas trees are very popular in North Carolina. It's a big industry in North Carolina.
It is a big industry. I understand we're number 2 in the nation
Yes,
for Christmas
I think
trees.
Oregon might be the first, and then North Carolina is right behind there. Sell a lot of Christmas trees or grow a lot in the mountains,
Yeah.
but there's Christmas tree farms in this area too.
That's
They grow different types of trees than what's in the mountains.
So you like the, and in fact the Fraser fir is considered very popular.
It is. Fraser fir is very popular. Part of the reason is it has very strong branches, so it can hold all your ornaments on the tree very well. They're not flimsy branches or anything. But there's other types. Some people go with cedars, and there's other types of trees that you can pick from.
There are different kinds of trees. I think you're right. The Fraser fir is most popular because, and it looks great. But once you get the lights on it and everything, I mean, who can tell?
Right.
All the decorations and the ornaments and everything.
Yeah.
So when we first go out to, and if there are people who
Right.
are looking for a live Christmas tree this year, and I understand that business has been pretty good so far. And
Yeah, I
it's
believe
still
so.
early. It's been pretty good so far for live trees. So how do we find a live tree? What are we looking for?
Well, the first thing to think about, even before you get to the lot or the farm that you're going to get your tree, is to think about the size that you'll need. Because the first thing that when you get there, you'll be asked, what size tree are you looking for?
Yeah.
And a lot of people, even though it sounds simple, kind of forget, and then all of a sudden, it's like, I'm not sure. An easy rule of thumb is whatever your ceiling height is of the room you're putting the tree in, do a foot less than that.
A foot less.
At least a foot less.
Yeah.
Because
So-
you got to consider the tree, you've got that tip at the top, and
Right.
usually that doesn't count with the entire height of the tree. So you're
Right.
going to have, some extra height there than what you think. It's going to be taller than what you think a lot of times.
Yeah, and I imagine also you do want to make sure that you don't get a 12-foot tree to go into a 10-foot house.
Right, because then you're dealing with trying to cut the bottom off to get it sized correctly, to get it in the house, and so forth, for your to decorate.
And a lot of these places will actually cut the tree down for you.
Right.
All right.
Yes, they will.
Very good.
And a lot of times the trees are already cut down and they're ready for you to pick up. And they will trim the bottom off if you need to some.
Right.
A lot of them are really good to work with you to get the size correct if need be.
Okay. All right. Well, now you brought some examples of Fraser fir with you here. Let's take a look at these and see when you're going out and you're looking for a Christmas tree. What are you looking for?
What you're looking for is how fresh the tree is. It might be that you want to ask a couple of questions as far as where were they shipped from, how long has it been since it's been cut, to kind of get an idea of the freshness of the tree.
Right.
The main reason for that is because it's going to hopefully, you know, most people want them to stay in their house through Christmas and at least through till New Year's.
Right.
And so you want to ask those types of questions. The other thing you can do to kind of test for freshness is just simply take a branch and rub your hands along it, and to see. So if you take it and just rub your hands along it, and what you're looking for is that any needles come off. And what should happen is you shouldn't have any needles in your hands.
So if you pull on a branch, the needles should be stuck. They should stay there.
Now, of course, if you really tug, you know, eventually they'll come off. But just simply rubbing your hand, there shouldn't be any needles in your hand. If there is starting to be needles in your hand, a lot of them, then it's going to indicate that it might have been cut for a while and it's dry. And that's what you're looking for. The other thing is the needles should be able to bend. And without really breaking too much. So they should have some flexibility to them. And another way people test for freshness is to take the whole tree and just kind of bounce it once or twice. And see what kind of needles fall to the ground. If there's a lot of brown needles, that's fine, because you can see even here, see with this one, might be hard to see, but there's usually inside the tree. See if we can get it.
I see a big finger.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So you see there's going to be little brown needles deeper in the center of the tree. That's fine.
You shouldn't be concerned about those?
No, shouldn't be concerned. Now, if you see them towards the outer part, towards the tips, then that's a problem. So if you take the tree and kind of bounce it once on the ground, and usually people do that when they get home. They want to shake some of those loose needles off so they don't drag them into the house. But if you do it before you buy it and you see brown needles fall, that's fine. But if you see green needles starting to fall off the tree, that would indicate too that it's dry.
That's a problem.
So there's a couple ways: simply just rubbing it to see if any of the green needles come off, or trying to bounce the whole tree to test for freshness.
Okay. What about? I also heard somewhere that if you bend the little branch back, if you take it and bend it like that, if it breaks or snaps or something, that indicates the dryness.
Yeah. If it's not flexible, if they're brittle and they're breaking easy, then that would be a sign that it's dry. And so that's one important thing to look for whenever you go pick out a tree, is to make sure that it's not been cut too long.
I was at a tree lot on Cashwell Drive earlier today, and I was trying to, and he had all these Fraser firs out there that really looked good, and they were fresh. Of course, it's still early in the year, but and they were fresh, but I couldn't find one. I wanted to bring one back that had the needles that were coming off, but I couldn't.
And most of them right now, this time of year, you know, most people that have lots have just brought them from the mountains in the past few days. So most of what you'll find is fresh. As it gets later into the season, closer to Christmas, then that's when you need to really kind of keep an eye and look close, because those trees might have been cut quite a while. And if they've been sitting outside, and if we've had some warm days, the sun, that can have an effect on them, because they're not getting any water. Now,
I also would like to know, and again, the height of the tree. You want to get a tree that is a foot less than your ceiling height. At least a foot less.
At least.
Possibly even more. Because you have to take into consideration the stand.
Right, you do. You have to think about the stand. You've got to think about what you're going to put on top of the tree.
An ornament on top.
An angel star or something, a bow. That's going to take some space. And and some people don't mind getting a little bit larger tree and then cutting the bottom off to get it sized anyway. But some people, if you don't have a saw or chainsaw to use, then that could be run into a problem.
And most of these places that have trees for sale will have a chainsaw or something to help cut the tree down,
and they will even help you bale the trees.
Yeah.
They'll have balers that they'll run it through the baler, and that'll tie it up. And that's probably one big mistake is people take them home and let them get burnt by the wind and damage them and let them get dried out that way. Sometimes you'll see some cars and the tip of it will be at the front. And you got to think about if you're driving, the tip, you know, all your wind's blowing those needles and branches back.
That's right. Top of the tree at the front of the car is not good.
No, so you want the trunk of the tree, the base of it, at the front part of your vehicle.
Toward the front part of the car.
If you're putting it on the roof. Or this, Yep.
All right, the trunk of the tree at the front of the car, tip of the tree at the rear.
Right. And if there's any way you can bring some blankets or a sheet or something to wrap it up in before you put it on top of your vehicle, that can also help quite a bit, especially if you're traveling a long distance. It can help a lot.
All right, let's talk about feeding these things now. What is there? Should you add anything to the water? I hear all kinds of formulas that you can add. Put an aspirin in there, and put Clorox in there. Clorox will kill it, by the way.
Yeah.
But what do you suggest?
Really, the best thing is just water. And not worry about
just plain water?
Yeah, not worry about adding anything. Water is going to be the most important thing to add to your tree stand once you got the tree in place. And check it daily. You'll be surprised at how much water the trees really drink.
Yeah, okay.
And so you do really need to check it daily. And because you think about in your house, you've got either some source of heat running with the cold weather and so forth. It can dry out a tree fast.
So the secret formula is H2O.
Yes. It is.
Okay, water.
And the one other trick is to, when you get home, it doesn't hurt to cut the base of the tree again and give it a fresh cut, and that'll allow it to take in more water. And because usually after it's been cut, eventually that cut kind of gets sealed over.
Yeah,
some.
It heals up there.
Yeah, so you can cut it again, and that'll allow the tree to take in more water.
Okay, so when you put it in the stand in the house, give it a fresh cut. What if you're going to take the tree home and you can't put it in right away? What do you do with it?
Store it in a cool, shady area, away from heat, away from direct sunlight, and don't worry about doing anything to it until you're ready to bring it in the house.
Keep it in water?
You can go ahead and keep it in water. It's okay if it's just a day or two to wait, and then make that cut to the base and put it in water then.
That is important though, isn't it? Make that fresh cut before you take it in the house.
Yes, it'll allow it to take in a lot more water and allow it to last longer through the season.
So how often do you check the water in these things?
I would check it daily.
Every day at least?
Yeah, because
maybe twice?
Sometimes even twice, especially the first few days, because you think about it's been sitting on a tree lot or in a truck that's traveled here, and there's not been a source of water for a few days. Okay,
so make sure you check it at least once a day, if not twice a day, to make sure it still has water, because once that water, and it soaks it up like a sponge. It's very quick.
It really does. Yeah.
Yeah, these they'll soak up the water very quickly. So after that, what do you need to do between now and until you don't need the tree anymore? Just keep it watered?
Just keep it watered. And just make sure in your house you don't put it right next to any heating vents, wood stove, fireplace. Don't put it too close to those because it will tend to dry out. And then too, that's a fire hazard that you run into also.
Okay, keep it away from heat sources and such.
Yes.
Okay, you have some information about information.
I do. As far as how you can contact our office for more information, one way is our phone number for the office is 919-731-1525. But we have started a Facebook page that if you're into Facebook and you want to ask questions or keep up with tips and so forth and things going on with the Extension office related to gardening, and it's www.facebook.com/Wayne County Gardening is the page.
Facebook, Wayne County Gardening.
Yes, Wayne County Gardening is
Wayne County Gardening is your Facebook page, and on that Facebook page, all kinds of information.
Yes, there is. Yeah, and we add, I add tips and say when Master Gardeners have plant sales, when we have workshops and so forth. So it provides a lot of information.
All right. And let's see, what else do we have here? That's something else too. Oh, people looking for a Christmas tree.
Yes, if you're looking for a Christmas tree, there is a website through the North Carolina Department of Agriculture, and it's www.ncfarmfresh.com and /farms, I believe. But I think if you find the Farm Fresh, you can find it from there.
If you you go to ncfarmfresh.com.
Yes. And this is not just Christmas trees, this is all kinds of produce, so forth. You can go and search by county and see what local produce areas are around there, or you can search by different, like by Christmas trees, by different produce and plants.
Okay, there you go. Jessica Strickland has informed you as to how to buy a Christmas tree, a live Christmas tree, which and those smell a lot nicer than the artificial ones.
Yes, they do.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
And if you have a question for Jessica, you can reach her at, what's that number?
919-731-1525.
731-1525. Jessica Strickland of the Cooperative Extension Service. Horticulture Agent, we thank you very much.
Thank you.
WGTV today, thank you for being with us on this 5th day of December.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh boy, got something serious for you here. You're not
Okay.
going to believe this.
Yeah, when
know.
I heard you talking about it earlier, I was just shocked.
You might believe this, but this is really kind of far out stuff here. Get off the sofa for
Quick.
several reasons. Get off quickly too, because this coming from Health Day News, it seems that many sofas and couches sold in the U.S. contain toxic chemical flame retardants that have been linked to cancer, hormone disruption, and neurological damage, and that's according to a new study. The researchers tested 102 couches and found that 85, I always wanted to be either a mattress tester or a couch tester, one or the other. They call me Dag.
Sounds like an exciting job.
Yeah, anyway. They found 85% of them were treated with chemical flame retardants that are known to be toxic or lack adequate information about their health effects. 41%, nearly half of the couches, contained chlorinated tris, or TDCPP. That's a cancer-causing flame retardant removed from baby pajamas back in the 70s.
Right.
They took this out of babies' pajamas because it was thought to be a cancer-causing agent. 17% contained the worldwide banned chemical penta-BDE. The Duke University and University of California, Berkeley researchers said that. Now, they noted that many of the flame retardants found in the sofas are associated with hormone disruption, neurological and reproductive damage, and cancer in hundreds of animal studies and a number of human studies as well. The chemicals continuously move out of the furniture foam and into house dust. And we all have dust. I know what you're thinking, but we do. The dust can then be consumed by pets and by people, especially small children who are near floors and put their hands in their mouths, the researchers explained. The study was published in the journal Environmental Science and Technology. We have a copy right over here. Our subscription's about to run out, but it says it's hard to believe 35 years after our research contributed to removing tris from children's sleepwear. Our current study suggests that more than a third of the Americans' couches contain the same toxic flame retardant. That's according to Dr. Arlene Bloom, Executive Director of the Green Science Policy Institute. That was at UC Berkeley in a news release there. She said, and sadly enough, many Americans could now have increased cancer risks from the tris in their furniture. So, who dropped the ball here? If it was removed from children's pajamas, from infant pajamas back in the 70s, somebody knew that it was still being used in our furniture.
My goodness.
Somebody dropped the ball. In related news, another study published in the same day found that most homes have levels of flame retardants that are above federal health guidelines. The study was conducted by researchers at the Massachusetts-based Silent Spring Institute, which identifies links between chemicals and women's health. And the story goes on here, so get off the couch. It's not good for you. It's unhealthy. But here's something else in a related story about flame retardants. It says here that your couch may be making you fat. No joke. I'm serious. Yeah. Not just because you sit there too much and don't exercise, but for the same reason we just talked about. A new study from a couple of North Carolina universities found that chemicals in a flame retardant used in some furniture causing severe weight gain in lab animals. This is according to Triangle Business Journal reports, and that's a good publication. A lot of research out of major universities only interests other researchers or scientists, but the new study by North Carolina State and Duke University have implications that could affect regular folks all over the country, and it shows that a fire retardant used on many couches and other furniture, quote, causes extreme weight gain, early onset of puberty, and cardiovascular health effects. Now, the retardant is called FireMaster 550. FireMaster 550, developed by the Chemtura Corporation, and they're headquartered in Philadelphia. Triangle Business Journal has more on the issue if you will pick up a copy. I'm not sure which issue that is, but it's on there online as well. Jason DeBruin covers healthcare for Triangle Business Journal report. So fire retardant in furniture not only is extremely dangerous in getting into the air, but that
hurting
you breathe
your animals
and touch
and your
animals and your
young children.
But it also can get into have a reaction, cause your body to react and actually gain weight, and that's been proven. So somebody dropped the ball on that stuff. It needs to.
It certainly sounds like it. Good
well,
gracious.
Yeah.
On that happy note.
That's right.
But, you know, we do want to inform you. We want to make sure you're aware
People
of.
need to know about that.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right. Well, Wayne, the Arts Council has all kinds of things happening, as we know.
Love the Arts Council.
I mean, they have an abundance of activities and things for you to do and see, and the art market where you can go and purchase local art and give as gifts through the holidays.
Yes, for as little as $2.
That's right. That's right. They did. They had some as inexpensive as $2.
Yeah, that's a great place.
Well, or they offer you the opportunity to come out on Thursday, December the 6th, and paint a painting that can go, a holiday painting that you can either keep for yourself or that you can give as a gift.
Hey.
It's, let's see, Thursday, December the 6th. Hey. Supplies will be provided by the Arts Council. There is a fee, however. The fee is $58, and that includes all of the supplies. It's at 3:30 in the afternoon, and they'll offer the class from 3:30 until 6. But they'll work with you, and you actually will paint a holiday painting.
That's tomorrow afternoon.
Gosh, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, December 6th.
That's right, it's tomorrow afternoon.
That's right.
At the Arts Council of Wayne County, right downtown Goldsboro.
Yeah, that's
But what a great gift that would
be.
A personal gift that you could give that you painted yourself.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, my mom is an artist, and she paints all the time, or used to. And we have paintings in our house, and she has paintings throughout her house that you would never know that she had done because they are fabulous.
Wow.
I told her many times she needs to go down to the Arts Council and put some of her art in there, but she's not ready to part with her. She's sold maybe 5 or 6 through the years, but she keeps most of hers.
Oh, okay.
But what great gifts they are. She's given us gifts.
Yeah,
that's what I was going with that.
That's a great idea. That's great.
She's given gifts, and that's a great thing, you know, because that comes from your heart, and they're special. Excuse me.
Pardon me.
Yes.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
Pardon me.
Let's see. What else is going on? Oh, Wayne, I'm going to let you talk about this one. This is the anniversary of the Civil War battles.
The sesquicentennial celebration of the observance, pardon me, of the Battle of Goldsboro Bridge getting underway on Tuesday. Thank you, December 11th. That's next week.
Yes, it is. What day of the week is that?
That's a Tuesday. It starts at 7 p.m. and goes until 8 p.m. at Wayne Community College and Moffett Auditorium. Now, Randy Sauls will be the speaker, and he'll be giving a lecture.
That's right. And that's the foundation of Wayne Community College is the one putting that on,
and
hosting that.
That's exactly right. Now, Randy will be giving a talk about the battles of Fredericksburg and Goldsboro Bridge, December 11th, at the college. Lecture is open to the public. Everyone's invited to attend. No registration is required. Again, this is coming up December 11th, Tuesday evening, 7 o'clock at Wayne Community College and Moffett Auditorium there.
And he is extremely knowledgeable.
He knows. I mean, it was almost as if he was there. Yeah.
I know.
How old are you, Randy? Anyway.
He's one of those that also participates and organizes the reenactment out at Goldsboro Battlefield Bridge.
I love that. They go in period dress, and they fire the guns. Those guys, they camp out there. And they camp out, and I drive through early in the morning before sunrise, and you can still smell the campfire.
Wow.
Oh, and the wood is burning. Oh, it's just
fantastic. You know, I went one year. When you drive up and get out of your car, honestly, you go back in time. You really do. You feel like you're in a different world, a different era when you're watching their reenactment. It is phenomenal. It is that.
It is that. And so highly recommended. This, in fact, take a youngster with you when they do the reenactment. I believe that's on the 15th this year. I believe it's on the 15th, when they do the reenactment, take a youngster with you, and you know what? That just may inspire that youngster to become interested in history.
That's right.
Which would be a wonderful thing to happen. You know, people just don't know enough about how we got to where we are. I'm reading 3 books right now, because I just am.
Wow.
One's about the Constitution. One is just a basic American history book from a different angle, and it's fascinating. And then about the Constitution, then about our founding fathers, and all 3 are just amazingly full of information. And you really need to be interested in this stuff. This stuff is not boring. Some people think history is boring. History is not boring. Well,
you know, nowadays a lot of the youth watch the History Channel.
They do.
You know, and unfortunately sometimes it's instead of reading.
Yes.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But I know that my son that is the channel, Discovery, and of course in Channel 10.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Of course Channel 10.
Of course.
But when he's not watching Channel 10, he's watching the History Channel or Discovery Channel. And he really can recite and tell us so much information, and I am daily surprised by that. But it comes from watching that show or that channel, and you learn so much.
And you know, that should
in a creative way.
Yes, that should tell parents and educators that, hey, these young people are interested.
Oh, yes, they are.
They're interested just simply by the act and by the fact that they're going to the History Channel on television and finding interesting topics and subjects to watch and listen to and learn from. So they're telling you, I'm interested in this stuff.
I want to absorb it, right.
Yeah, I want to absorb this information. So I think we should have more history coverage in our classroom.
Oh, yes. And we're going to continue to bring you history of Goldsboro and Wayne County on a semi-regular basis as well, with some of our local historians and history buffs, and Randy Sauls being one of them. And there's a long list of history buffs here in our community.
That's right.
That are going to come on board and help us out.
That's right.
Share the history of our community.
That's right. I'd like to even have some older folks come in as well and talk about and tell stories. It's people that have lived long.
Well, that's, you know, Danny.
Because I come from a family of long livers.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, long livers, yes.
Well, Danny.
Rollins?
Nope.
Danny Davis?
Yes. Danny Davis.
Danny Davis. And the Nashville Brass.
Well, Danny told us that that's how he learned a lot of the information that he has now. It's almost like through the years he's met with so many people and heard their stories and heard the different angles that they tell these stories, and gathering all of that through 20, 30, 40 years. He's, you know, he says now it's almost like little filing cabinets in his brain, you know, of different years and time, and he can pull it out and share it with us.
That's great, and he's very knowledgeable, and he's got
those filing cabinets filled, doesn't he?
He's got those cabinets filled there. All right.
All right. Well, let's see who is up next.
Well, let's see. We up next. I had it right here just a little while ago. Yeah, I got it right here. Here it is. No, that's not it. It's somewhere else. Oh yes.
We're going to the Fire Academy at Goldsboro High School, and we're going to talk to some youth that are enrolled in the Fire Academy, and I think you're going to be surprised. So hold on tight. Wayne and I are joined here with some gentlemen who were a part of a program here at Goldsboro High School. It's the Fire Academy. This is a partnership that we want you to know about right here in Goldsboro, Wayne County. So guys, tell us who you are and what you're a part of here.
My name is DEQUAN Palmer.
My name is KARON ALSTON.
My name is SHERROD HARVIN.
Now tell me what you're a part of here. What is this program?
It's the Goldsboro High School Fire Academy.
The Goldsboro High School Fire Academy.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, tell me more about this program. What is it, and who do you work with?
This program is basically based on becoming firemen in the future, a career job, getting us ready so we'll be able to take the classes now, so we won't have to go through it in the future or whatever. It's starting us early, so we'll be able to continue on and be a higher person or a better person in the fire department, I guess.
So you're telling me that in high school you're able to take classes that could help you in your future?
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Like going towards being a fireman?
Yes, ma'am. It's actually a college course that we're taking.
Well, my goodness. Well, tell me, when did this start?
It started maybe, I say, 3 months ago, probably.
So this is a new program. Is it, how many people are involved in this right now at your school, Goldsboro High School?
It's currently 4 people, but we're looking to enroll some more.
Wonderful. So now, is this a semester long, or is this the entire year? How does this work?
It depends on your classes, Some right now, where I'm just taking it for this semester. Second semester is they continue. Them two are going to continue on going. So most likely I would have to go to Wayne Community College and finish my courses.
Well, what grade are you here at Goldsboro High School?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior.
Yes,
How
ma'am.
about, what grade are you all?
I'm a senior too.
Okay.
I'm a senior also.
Wonderful. So you're all three seniors.
I have a question over here.
Yes.
What inspired you to take this course? Why did you want to take a fireman's course?
Yes, sir. I want to take a fireman course because in the future, I wanted them to be my backup plan. Becoming a fireman, state trooper, or going to the military, anything. But since that opportunity came to Goldsboro High School, I just thought I should go ahead and jump into that, so I have a lead start.
So you're looking to get into a service field?
Or anything. Them are just my backup plans. Right now, I'm planning on going to college to continue playing football.
Well, that's and continue playing football.
Yes, sir.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and then you get serious about work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What inspired you to take this class?
What inspired me is like I grew up in a little town in Virginia, and like my family, they kind of basically ran the volunteer fire department down there, like women and men. So I used to be around the fire station all the time. I used to like ride the fire trucks in the parades and stuff. And so when this class came, I was like,
It's like your second home.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
since I like firefighting, so I just decided to go ahead and take the class.
So you're already familiar with that environment,
Yes, sir.
around the firehouse and that sort of thing. What about you? Well, no. Wait a minute. There's an answer in there. I know. So why did you want to take this course?
I wanted to take it because it's something new to me, and you know, it's fun, and it opens opportunities for me to go to college, and they give you college credits, and it's a future plan, a future backup plan also.
Well, have you guys learned anything about teamwork by being a part of this class?
Yes, ma'am. We learned a lot about teamwork. By something well in the fire field, basically everything is teamwork. You can't do nothing by yourself. It takes a team to do everything.
So I guess you're learning you have to depend on
Others, right?
to help you out. How about you guys? Have you learned anything about trust or leadership skills?
Yes, I learned about trust.
Tell me why this class helped you learn about trust.
Because one day we took a task, and we took a ladder and we held it straight in the air, and
we had one person on each side of the ladder, and while one person on each side of the ladder, like the ladder straight in the air, it's not so like we on the concrete and there's nothing else, and like so basically if you fall off the ladder, then you just fall and you hurt. But we took initiative to ourselves to say we could do it. And
were they holding the ladder up?
Yeah, they were holding like
we were holding the ladder up. Me and
him
was holding the ladder up, and one of our captain Cobb, one of our instructors, he told us, y'all won't be able to do that. And they was telling us something about that was gonna have to hold it by with a rope so it won't spin or it won't fall or whatever. But we was like, no, we're not gonna be able to do that. We're not doing that or whatever. But one day he just told us, nah, don't do that because y'all can't do it. And he was real serious. So me and him was like, yes, we can do it. So we actually held the ladder up ourselves with our hands and things, and had him climb the ladder, and then we had our other guy with us named Promise. He climbed the ladder with us too, and we all climbed the ladder. We all took turns holding the ladder. Yes, ma'am.
So it was really, you were having to trust one another by whoever was holding that ladder. You had to trust that they were not going to drop you.
Yes, ma'am.
You were not going to fall on that concrete.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
So it was a continued trust that you've learned through different tasks and things that you're doing in this class.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, tell me how this works. Do the instructors come from the Goldsboro Fire Department? Do they come here to teach you? How does that work?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. They come from different stations around here in Goldsboro. And we have one that come from, I think, Engine 1 and one from Engine 2, and they both volunteer at SHERROD, volunteer fire station. And they all help us, like they instruct us on the different classes that we take.
Okay, so they come to Goldsboro High School and teach
Yes,
the courses
ma'am.
right here on campus.
On campus, yes, ma'am.
All right. So what are some of the challenges you face? What's really hard? What's really hard for you?
What challenging that I faced was climbing ladders.
With somebody holding it up, straight up for you? Or?
A 35-foot ladder against the building.
Now, 35 feet is a 3-story building.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's a long way up. What do you think? Is that tough for you?
It would. See, the thing is that for me, like, I really wasn't afraid of heights. So I mean, I really had no problem with it. I just was like ready to go ahead. I was fired up to do it.
So each person has their own challenges and things that they're not quite as certain of.
Right.
KARON, what's toughest for you?
I believe the toughest thing for me is connecting the water hose to the fire truck and the fire hydrant too, because you have kinks in them.
Yeah.
And Chief Johnson, he's a very well-rounded man. He's got more experience than a lot of firemen around. I mean, Chief Smith. I'm sorry about that.
Yes.
Captain Smith.
Captain Smith. I know that guy.
I always do that. I always
you promoted him, and he really appreciates it.
I always do that. Captain Smith, he has a lot of experience. He told me, yes, sir, you're not going to be able to put that fire hose around that pole, that light pole or whatever. He was like, years of experience, I know, son, that you're not going to be able to do that. And I did it anyway, and everything was just messed up.
Right.
So I had to do it all back over again and things like that. And that's what.
But you're getting hands-on experience.
Yes, ma'am, right.
You're having your hands on that hose, trying to figure out how to connect everything. And once you've graduated from high school and you've got these courses under your belt, how would you recommend this, or would you recommend this to other students here at Goldsboro High School or any other school in the community if it was offered?
Yes, ma'am. I recommend some of the students, really, because like I know some students personally, myself, that say they want to be firefighters when they graduate, and so I think they should go ahead and take this class to get an early start. on the fire department.
Yeah, because I tell a lot of people a lot of times, I say this a lot of times, I say it's like a saying to me, a motto, because being a fireman, being afraid of heights and saving people or being afraid, you can't be afraid to save somebody else's life, because the person's life that you're saving is afraid too, and both of y'all can't be afraid. If so, then both of y'all can end up hurting each other or whatever. So
true.
Yes, ma'am.
So have any of you taken any of this training home and made your home safer from the fire training you've had?
No, sir, I haven't.
Your house is already safe?
No, I guess so. I don't know.
All right.
Have you really? How have you made it work?
Because I remember one day, one of our teachers had told us that most of the fires around here start off by like people go to sleep and leaving their dryer on. Yeah. And I used to do that all the time. Like on Thursday night before a football game, I wash all my clothes on Thursday night and leave the dryer running while I sleep. So I don't do that no more. I just stop.
Good.
So you're learning safety tips by being a part of this class. Safety tips you may not even realize that you needed to know.
Yes, ma'am.
And you can help your family and your neighbors and your friends by sharing that information.
Yes,
and if anything should happen, you guys are ready to react.
Yes, sir.
Anything in your neighborhood happens,
yes, sir.
you know what to do.
Yes, sir. We have a couple of more classes to take, but I really believe as long as we have our instructors with us, at least we'll be able to take out a fire.
As long as you got some guidance.
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Well, that's great. Well, guys, we're glad that you took the time to speak to us and share your opinions and your goals with this program. It sounds like a fantastic program that you're a part of. We appreciate your time and efforts and wish you the best and hope you move forward with your certifications to be firefighters and come right back here to Goldsboro and help us out here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we're at Goldsboro High School. Kim and I came over for a visit. We're talking about fire today, and specifically about fire training, fire access, and Fire Academy. That's what we're talking about. We are so fortunate to have and be joined by retired Goldsboro firefighter Bobby Greenfield, Ms. Barbara Wilkins with Communities in Schools, Assistant Chief Johnson, and Captain Smith is with us today. And just a few minutes ago, we talked to some of the members of the Fire Academy here at Goldsboro High School. And who wants to start? Kim, ask a question.
The question is, where did this come from, this brainstorm? Where did it come from and how did it come about?
Well, to be honest with you, about 6 years ago, when I was fire chief, Chief Johnson, Lisa Johnson, she approached me about the program. And we had some concerns at that time during our hiring process, we were hiring a lot of folk that were volunteer firefighters. Now these volunteer firefighters was excellent. They were highly trained, motivated, and dedicated. But one thing in the process she noticed, and so did I, that there were mostly, there was no minorities involved in that hiring process. So we decided to maybe look at the possibility of starting some type of program in the high school, and then we actually looked at through the college, to get minority youth involved. So they would
because they weren't applying at all?
They were applying, but we had an agility course initially, and then we went with the CPAC course. But the volunteers that we were sending through had that previous training, like connecting hose, like connecting it to the fire truck, how to open a fire hydrant the correct way, because they had seen their fathers, their uncles, cousins, as children do these things. So we thought the minority kids at Goldsboro High School in particular didn't have that advantage because they had no family members that was a part of volunteer fire department. Needless to say, she came up with the idea. I thought it was a great idea, and we had a lot of things going on. And I retired, and when I retired, she kept the ball rolling. She had it in her heart to get it done. She has talked with me about it once, I know, since I retired, that she wanted to get this program going through the high school, and she had some partners that was willing to come in and help her take that ball to the next level. So I see now from what I've heard that she has got the ball rolling along with the other members of the Goldsboro Fire Department, because they're dedicated folk like Captain Smith. I know these folk, and if anybody can get it done, they'll get it done.
All right, well, Assistant Chief Johnson, tell me what kept you going, and what made you know that this was going to work?
Well, I knew that the possibilities were out there. You're just going to have to get the information out to the people. And we did go to several different high schools, including Goldsboro 6 years ago. And I think it was the timing of different things. So a couple years ago, we still kind of kept our contacts talking it up. And I met Miss Wilkins. And so we started out with a program called the Mentoring Program, which was we had firefighters come out here once a week for 1 hour and met with a group of students to give them that exposure. And that was very successful. It was so successful we ended up having 2 groups of students. From that, we started brainstorming again, and we thought about doing an Explore program, which we did format this past year. And the PD has had an Explore program for many years, and it's helped them grow in their recruitment process. So with the help of Ms. Wilkins, and then which is with the communities and schools, Wayne Community College is also a partner with us to help getting this together and supporting us during the college classes. Ms. Deans has been a driving force helping us with that as well. And then Ms. Faison, being the principal here, was definitely without her support, bringing us all together, allowing this to happen, then we wouldn't be where we are today. So we started out small during the mentoring program, and then we grew for that, and it's like, well, let's go a little bit more. Let's get them to have some college credit. Let's get them to have some real certification classes. And it's all about exposure. You're not going to know if you like it unless you try it. And being a mom, I have a daughter, and I understand that when you start looking at a career, you don't know unless you have opportunities to think about this is something you'd like to do. So that's what we're trying to do, is give an exposure. We did start off with a larger group this year, and we've had some to fall away, but that's okay. They tried it. At least they know that this is something they can maybe look back again later and say, you know what, I did like that program, I may back and revisit it. Or they may realize this is what they do want to do, and we're going to help these young people network, meet other people, and hopefully find them a career in the fire service or anything related like EMS, or it could be dispatching. So it's not just the fire service. So we're here to kind of make that connection, mentor them, help them get through that. Also, we want to be a part of their interviewing process when they leave here, how to present themselves. So the program is based on the firefighter certification, but it's also about other things as well.
We were talking with the young men that are a part of the Fire Academy earlier, and some of the words we kept hearing were dedication, trust, leadership skills. These are things that they're learning through being a part of this Fire Academy, and what great qualifications they are. whether you complete the course, whether you decide that as a road you want to continue down for the rest of your life or not.
Right.
Look at all the great things that you all are exposing them to and helping them gain through this process.
Right.
Where do you see this, or where would you like for this program to be, let's say in 5 years?
In 5 years, it depends on what type of resources we have. The state State Board of Instruction has already approved a program that could be in the high schools that delivers a state certification as an elective. At this point, you'd have to have a certified teacher who's also a certified fire instructor.
Mm-hmm.
We did not have that at this time. So we kind of did us another program. These students have what we call early out. So what we're doing is using the Goldsboro High School campus as our classroom, using certified fire instructors to teach the program. So we're still doing it here on campus, and so what I'm hoping will grow into having a more large student body to take the classes and to be able to start sooner. This is a pilot program. We're learning as we go, and we're also going to involve the students in what we call a competition. There's other youth competition that you demonstrate firefighting skills. So we want to get more involved in that. There's a local one that's coming up in March that we're going to train these young people to be a part of. And then there's also a regional competition in Tennessee that will be our ultimate goal, to be able to go and participate on that level.
Okay. Ms. Wilkins, what does communities in school, what part does the communities in school play in this program?
I see communities in schools as being the glue that keeps it together. Making sure we have the kids, they know about the meetings, we have the space available. Just really the glue.
Yeah, to hold it all together.
So you're continually working with the Goldsboro Fire Department.
Oh yes, we talk together several times a week. Yes.
Well, that's what it takes, and it sounds like there are quite a few organizations that are supporting this, that are walking hand in hand with you through this process, and that's what it's going to take, is this collaborative effort right here in our community. We have lots of that in Goldsboro.
I want to ask Captain Smith, what is it? How do you become a fire instructor? What's different between a fire instructor and just
a firefighter?
And a firefighter.
Well, now to become, you got to have at least 5 years in the service.
Okay.
As a general instructor before you can actually become a certified instructor. There's a little bit difference in instructors. You got what is just a general instructor who can't teach certification classes, which we're teaching some of these guys some certification classes. We taught some classes here just not certification classes also. There's a lot of studying, a lot of training, a lot of hard work to get there.
Is the course a structured course with manuals and text?
And
and a curriculum, or is it all?
Yes.
Is it all?
It's through the state, North Carolina Department of Insurance.
Okay.
It's just like the guys are taking these classes. You got to take what they're taking first.
Right.
Once they get that, and you went in a department for 5 years or so, then you can get your instructor stuff.
All right. Now, once these guys finish your class, will they be full-fledged firefighters?
They will be, if we go through the program we started, they'll be level 1. There's a level 1 and a level 2 firefighter.
All right. What's a level 1?
Level 1 is just part of the whole thing of a level 2. It's taking some of the same classes, but it ain't going as in detail as you would with a level 2.
So what could they do as a level 1 firefighter?
As far as what they can do?
As far as what they can do.
That gives them the ability to get started. It's a good thing when they go to the department. It shows, hey, they've got some training. That training is good. It's a good foundation, like you were saying, just to get started.
So would they be able to take this this knowledge, this training, this certification, and actually be hired on as a firefighter at a fire department?
Yes, and this would be a good foundation starting. Yes, yes, sir. And to start at the fire department, just like Goldsboro, you don't got to have firefighter 1 and 2, and we recommend you get it.
Yeah.
We want you to go to get your EMT. But it's something you ain't got to have. We do provide training at Goldsboro when they get started.
So they're going to be ahead of the game.
Yes, sir.
They'll be ahead of the game with a level 1 certification.
Which is exactly what you were speaking about earlier. It gives them some information to have when they walk in that door and put in their application.
That's true.
They walk in with tools already in their pocket.
Right. And it gives them an opportunity to see if a profession in the fire service is something they really want.
Exactly.
So it works
like the gentleman told us earlier, the students in the class, it's not for everybody.
That's right.
It takes a lot of dedication and special qualifications that it sounds like the gentlemen that are enrolled in the class right now all have.
Right.
And it sounds to me like, regardless of whether they stay on as a firefighter or not, they'll always have this knowledge to be able to use it.
That's right.
Always.
Once they get the knowledge, I mean, you can't take them from them.
That's right.
They will always, build upon that too. that
Well,
knowledge.
what challenges have you had at this point? I know we talked earlier about the fact that it took a long time
Right.
to get this ball rolling and to actually get it in the schools. Well, now you've overcome that obstacle. You're in the schools, you're working it, you have a fire academy established. But what challenges have you had since you have actually started the academy?
The scheduling. We didn't want to start off too much too soon because we know these are seniors. They got other things that's going on as well. And so we're only doing classes 3 days a week. And sometimes we have to work around early dismissals and everything. So scheduling has been a problem. And these three played football. And so we had to make sure that our classes ended in time for them to be able to stop and go to football practice, which it kind of, with our flow of what we have to do, it's kind of been a challenge. The state requires their attendance to have to maintain a certain amount of attendance for each subject. So if they're sick or if they have to leave early, it could affect them getting credit for that class. So we're having to work around some of those things. It's not like a normal high school day where you can miss so many days because each subject only has so many hours or minutes that you can miss. So that's been a little bit of an issue. Reference gear, I've saved old turnout gear for several years, so they actually have gear issued to them that other firefighters have worn. So, but a thing we'd like to be able to do eventually is for them to get uniforms. I think that will be a pride thing. Wayne Community College did support them and buying them a T-shirt that has Goldsboro Fire Academy on it. And so that these are the little things that we're going to be hopefully. Just a while ago, I saw several students in ROTC uniforms. They're walking around being very proud of what they're wearing, and I want our Fire Academy students to be able to do the same thing. So eventually I'd love to get uniforms for them, and they really feel like they're a part of our department. These young men are also going to have an opportunity to do ride-alongs with us. That's going to come up shortly. They get actually ride on the fire truck, go to the fire scenes, watch at a safe area, and to see how things really come together in the fire scene. So some of the challenges is just the scheduling of it. We are restricted with the type of students we have that have early out. So we have to only work with students who have the time that have already fulfilled other elective things. But we're hoping eventually that our classes will be considered to be elective and that will not be a problem. But we're making some headway.
It sounds like it. Well, how do the students find out about this curriculum?
This right here, Ms.
Communities in
Wilkins.
schools.
Yes.
So you make the students aware so they know this in the beginning of the school year when they're choosing their curriculum and picking the classes that they take.
I go into their classrooms, I grab them in the hallway. If I see a student that looks like he's got a lot of energy and don't you want to be a fireman? Yes.
Well, it sounds like you all have had a lot of planning and a lot of support in our community to keep continuing growing this effort that you have so far. And Wayne, do you have any other questions of them?
I'm
Amazed?
I am amazed. I'm proud to have been a part of this session here. I think this is fantastic. This is a great academy.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is, I want to see this thing grow to many, many students. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I salute everyone who's involved with this. This is fantastic.
And I want to say thank you to you too for keeping the ball rolling from the time of retirement when you all had this idea years ago to even with the new chief now. You have continued to work in this effort and make sure that it actually happens. And then for you all for jumping on board with communities and schools, and for you coming and being an instructor with the students, that's what it takes. It takes a lot of different hands at the table to make these kind of large efforts and unusual efforts work. So thank you for the opportunity you've provided these students and our community.
We're back on WGTV today, and we're quickly approaching the end of the program. So we'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, and until then, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Kim Best, and this is what's happening in your community.